I thought that being a yoga teacher, first of all, let me go back. I thought that yoga teacher training was this like pilgrimage that one did, and it was so out of my reach and fancy and prestigious. And you went through this program and you came out a yoga teacher and you were all knowing and a guru. Even though I've had yoga teachers that I haven't liked or I thought were not that great, I still thought that they were like all knowing. In the same way that, after like my childhood and the impression that my parents made on me, I thought that being a doctor or a lawyer was like being godlike. And even though I'm a full fledged adult now, I still can't fully shake that image. So catch me surprised when I end up doing my yoga teacher training, something that I thought was out of my reach. I did it, and I came out of it to realize that it's just a program. It's just a certification. It means you had the money to do a training. It just means you did a training, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're a guru. It's a good program. I did learn a lot. I think there is an element of like it's what you make of it. So if you put more into it, you're going to get more out of it. I think I put in like a medium amount of effort because I did the type of yoga teacher training where it was like on weekends over a 4 month period. It was really intense because I was working at the same time. So that was just the only way I could see myself doing this at the time. I came into the money. I decided to put it into yoga teacher training. Ultimately, I'm glad because like the time passed anyways, and now I have this thing that I like don't even, it feels like a blip, like getting it and stuff. But now I have it. I could teach yoga, and that leads me into this memo. I didn't come out of this program feeling as confident as I thought that I would. I was an athletic kid. I came into all of that in my early 20s. Came into it more seriously when I was about 25 during the pandemic. And I think that I've built a practice, like a self practice that's pretty great, and I'm much stronger and knowledgeable now. But on one hand, now I just know where my standards are, and I'm really well aware of the fact that I do not meet them. I have yoga teachers that I really like and look up to. I am nowhere near them. And about 2, 3 months ago, I had the opportunity. I applied to a studio. I got the job. And I thought that you just do it, like you start planning programs and you do it. And you really get thrown into this. Like there's nobody holding your hand. Once I got hired, and I don't know, I guess it's a time and a place thing. Like the studio really, really needed people. And they saw my resume because I'm also in the process of getting my Pilates teacher training. I don't know. It just sort of happened. And I'll come back to that later. I guess I just looked impressive and they thought that I could teach. So they're like, okay, you're hired. And you just get thrown into it. And I suffered. I went through agony. I realized I just couldn't jump into it. Like it felt impossible. It felt like my brain just couldn't work. And I was offered 3 classes to teach and I had to cut it down to 1. And even like the process of getting there, it was weeks of me in agony. That's just the best way to describe it. I was so anxious, and this is, I've mentioned before, like I'm going through a hard time. This made that hard time a million times harder because I was honestly scared. I have gone through this before, periods of executive dysfunction, but that was about stuff I didn't want to do. Like I was in university and taking classes I didn't want to take. I didn't necessarily want to be there, but I had to be there. I didn't have a choice. So I thought I just felt this way, and I was procrastinating and having a hard time doing the work because I didn't want to do it. But this is something I wanted to do, and I was having a hard time. And I've watched people that are far less qualified, with far lower standards, who I've had teachers who suck, basically. So, but they do it confidently. And because they do it confidently, they're out there doing the thing. And because I lacked confidence, but not only that, and that's the thing that I feel nobody around me is really understanding, it's more than a lack of confidence. It's agony. It's feeling like sitting down, knowing that the only way to do this is to just do the work, plan out a class, practice it a billion times, and just get better as I keep going. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't start. And I would sit there and not start and feel like absolute dog shit about myself because I'm not doing the thing that I'm supposed to do, but I'm also not letting myself do anything else. It puts me in such a low energy that I just start neglecting my health, and I'm in a low mental state, so I'm having very, very low thoughts, and it's really shitty because it's all something that I really liked. And I think it was really soul crushing for me because I thought that this could be like an honest career venture for me. And I'm at a point where I'm really lost and I don't know what I'm doing in my life. And I thought this could be something, and I've came to the crushing realization that, like, no, it can't. Maybe it can eventually. It's, I think, going to take me a really long time to build the confidence and the ability to teach the way that I want to. A really slow process, considering where I'm at right now. But it sucks. It really hurt to have that realization because I just kept seeing other people do it. I've met people at the studio who, like, I met this girl that works at the front desk, and she was telling me how her first class, she ended up teaching it because the actual instructor didn't show up. So she just, like, went into it. The class had started. There was a minute into the class, and she was asked to teach it, and she just went in and did it. I could never do that. Never say never, but, like, I know that like, I have high anxiety. I've never had a panic attack. I would have a panic attack. I would have to say, like, no. Like, I feel the type of anxiety I've never felt before. Like, I think I'm a highly anxious person, and I function regardless, but this is like something else, and it's been really hard to chew on that. And it really sucks because, I don't know, I did this exercise yesterday about limiting beliefs, and I was like, okay, my limiting belief is that I'm too stupid to, like, program classes, or I just can't do it, or there's a wall that's stopping me from doing this. And, you know, one of the parts of that exercise was, what's the opposite? Well, the opposite is that I could teach this class, I could put together programs, and that would mean that I would teach more classes, which means I get more practice, I would make more money, I would have more experience, I would get better exponentially. All great things, and yet I still can't do it. All that to say, I didn't let myself fully quit. I am really proud of myself that I didn't fully pull the ripcord. And I really, really wanted to. I really, really wanted to. But I didn't let myself. I made myself stick to one. And they were nice enough to, like, let me move down to one class. Like, I've been a manager before, and hiring somebody for just one shift is annoying. But they did that for me, and I appreciate it. I made myself do the one class. The one class went well, and my friends that attended, they said that I did a great job. The people in the class said I did a great job, but it was still so agonizing and so painful to do and to get there. And at this point, I've taught, tomorrow is going to be my 4th class, and even today, I've known that I wanted to sit down and work on my class plan this entire day, and it's 7 p.m. and I haven't done it. Why? Why have I not done it? I don't know. I think I've come to learn enough therapy speak. I don't know. What about, like, I'm smart enough at this point to know I'm not lazy. Because laziness would mean that I was like enjoying myself doing other things. I'm not. I'm really anxious about tomorrow's class. I would love to have, you know, the way to beat anxiety is action. Like if like I'm feeling anxious about tomorrow's class, the way to remedy that is to practice the hell out of it so I feel confident about it tomorrow. But I can't start. I don't know what it is. And the way that I'm dealing with it is by gritting my teeth and forcing myself to get through it, which is the way that I've gotten through every high anxiety situation in my life. And I don't think that necessarily works, but I can't afford good therapy right now. And what I mean by good therapy is I've also come to learn that there's really basic therapy and then there's like specialized therapy. I think I need specialized therapy and I just can't afford that, so I'm not going to do it. And this issue of like I can't start and my other issues, I've known what they are for a while now, but no one's ever been able to help me. All the things I've tried haven't been able to help me. So I continue to grit my teeth to try to get through things. And I hate that. You know, it's weird because I have no problem with public speaking. I did when I was very young, but I made myself get over it. I made myself get really good at talking to strangers and, you know, being able to make conversation with anybody. And, you know, sometimes it gets complicated because I feel like I'm not very interesting or this or that, but like I can do small talk with anyone. I'm really great at customer service. So I didn't expect this to be so hard. But it's not the performance aspect of teaching that is hard for me. It's feeling confident in my skills. And I guess that comes back to I didn't leave yoga teacher training feeling confident in my skills as a yoga teacher. A lot of the people I went to school with or did that program with, they started teaching right away and did really well for themselves. But not me. Like I didn't necessarily have an interest in teaching right away. And I thought, you know, I would come to it eventually. What's nice is that I actually have the strength to teach, because that used to be a fear of mine too. Like, how am I supposed to do this class with everybody? At this studio, you're supposed to demo, which I like. And thankfully, like, I'm strong enough to be able to demo and speak at the same time. Great. That would have sucked if I wasn't. But I just feel so unconfident in my skills. And then that lack of confidence impedes in my ability to try, which is crazy because, you know, Jake from Adventure Time said that the best way to get good at something is to sort of suck at something. And I know that, and that's what I would tell any of my friends or loved ones. I would give that advice to anybody, but it's hard to give it to myself because this agony is so deep and painful. And, you know, it's in the midst of a generally hard time that I'm going through, and it just stinks. Like, on one hand, I'm like, why can't I do this? On the other hand, I'm like, does my cat love me? And then on the other hand, I'm like, oh God, what am I even, like, what is my life right now? Like, I don't know what I'm doing, and everything is very difficult. And, you know, it's not for a lack of trying. I have a really disciplined morning routine. I work out every day. I journal every day. I go for walks. I try to eat really well. And I'm trying new things. And I'm trying to, you know, make sure I'm talking to all my friends and this and that. But nothing is helping me. Things are making things harder for me, actually. And that sucks. I don't want to be in this space. I wish this was easier for me. And that girl that said she like just jumped in and taught a class randomly, she couldn't believe that I was so nervous. And that sucks. I hate being in that position. I hate being nervous, being the nervous one that nobody like gets. And it's easy for everybody else. And the only time I can recently think of another example of this is there's this YouTuber named Savannah Sachdev, and she does these like marathon vlogs because she's like a running creator, and she is always nervous before her marathons. And, she's like telling the people that she's on these like trips with that she's nervous, and that, before marathons, she's like very moody and this and that. And the people that she shows clips of in her videos, they're always like, what, really? Like, you're that nervous? And I feel like this is what my situation is. There are people surrounded by me that are like, why are you so scared? Why are you so nervous? And they don't get it. And I don't get it. I wish I could do this. I wish I was more brave, but I think it goes beyond bravery. Like, I think it's not just simply a lack of confidence. It's something deeper, something else, and I just don't know what it is. I like the teachers that I look up to. Some of them are veterans, and I really shouldn't be comparing myself to a veteran. I really shouldn't be comparing myself to someone who has like many years of teaching experience, who came from dance, who just has like a whole different relationship with exercise than I do. But, this one teacher, Flogo Girl, she's on TikTok. She's been teaching for 2 years, and she's just so good. She did come from dance, and I do feel like that, those are transferable skills. I didn't come from dance. Like I said, I only like really started getting into exercise when I was 22, and it was very like flip-floppy and disordered until I was about 24, 25. I went through a very bad time. I keep talking about how I just keep going through bad times, but like my 20s have been rocky to say the least. And 24 to 25 was just a year of darkness. Started coming out of that. 25, started to try to take my movement habits really seriously, and was having a very hard time doing that. And it took me, I think, about until maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, to get serious. And it's only within the last year that it's become like very serious, in the sense of I'm moving every single day, and I see the results for it. Like, I'm much stronger. I'm able to do these classes. That's my cat's pet feeder. Anyways, if you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it, Boyd. But I just don't know why this is so hard. And it is so demoralizing. It's such a spiritual blow. It's such a punch in the gut in so many different ways. Every Saturday night before my Sunday morning class that I teach, I've been agonizing, wondering why I can't just start. Overall, I'm just been saddened by the fact that I can't teach the way that I thought I was going to be able to teach, and that this has been really hard for me. And then it just really affects my self-esteem. The after effect is that it affects my self-esteem really hard, because it makes me feel like I just can't do it. Why can't I do it? And finding out it's easier for other people doesn't make it any easier. I want to feel good about myself, and I just haven't. And then it makes me wonder, like, is this even for me? Like, maybe I shouldn't be teaching. But I don't know. There is something in me that feels like I should follow this path. And there is truth that the studio, the people that run it, my yoga teacher training, like, they're not as hands-on as I would wish. They're not like as uplifting as I would wish. And that also is a spiritual blow, because I feel like my whole life with adults, I've always felt like I just never had that like support or mentorship that I've seen other people get. And I'm definitely not, getting that support from my parents. So I'm supposed to find it within myself, but I look over my shoulder and there's nothing there. So I don't really know what to do. I'm going to grit my teeth and I'm going to get through tomorrow's class, but it's not going to feel very nice, as it has not felt nice, really. My first two classes went really well. I don't think I did a good job last week, and that kind of scares me for tomorrow, but I don't know. And I did tell people it was like my first class, so they feel like they're starting to get more comfortable with giving me feedback, which is good and bad because some of their feedback, I'm like, I don't know how to make that better. Because my brain just feels like it can't do this. And to try to work against that, like, you can't do this feeling is like trying to like walk through a brick wall. And that's why it's so tough. Because I'm literally trying to walk through like a solid wall of concrete and nothing is happening. And time is passing. I'm getting closer and closer to tomorrow morning. So, what the hell? I don't know what to do. And I hate that. I don't know, Void. I don't know.